Hi, good morning, y'all. I'd like to start by acknowledging with respect the Lekwungen-speaking peoples on whose territories we're doing this work today, Songhees and Esquimalt nations whose historical relationship with these lands continue today. Welcome to each of you joining from coast to coast to coast. We're so grateful to have you joining us. My name is Sage Lissert. I am the National Ambassador of the Moosehide campaign, and I'll share in the carrier language Hadit, Sage Lissert Sadni, Saikrana, Lashabu, Injan, Yinkaktane Keo. I'm a carrier woman from the Lake Babine Nation and a member of the Bear Clan. And this is my friend Richard.
Gwe, Ninda Luisi Gipu Makiwunu, Jokoe Niskam. Hello, everybody. My traditional name is Eagle Dancer. My non-traditional name is Richard Lush. I'm so tremendously honored to be here on this beautiful occasion and event on the Moosehide Campaign Day. I come all the way from the East Coast, and shout out to all my Mi'kmaq brothers and sisters. I'm Mi'kmaq First Nation from Lennox Island First Nation, Abaguit, Prince Edward Island. I'm so absolutely tremendously honored to be here. Now today, we're both your MCs for this wonderful event.
We want to start in a good way by inviting our friend and cultural leader, Yehuelupton, to the stage to please offer a welcome.
Hi, Richard and Sage invited me to share a brief moment with you all. Just acknowledge and thank each of you for joining us today. Na Moosehide, na Shwalakwa. Just thank my Moosehide family for always recognizing our beautiful Lekwungen lands and our sacred waters. I have had the honor for 11 years now of in supporting and walking with the Moosehide family in protocol, in the way that we come together. I will start with a welcome song to begin us this morning. And that welcome is extended to each of us, not only as we sit here or stand here physically in our Lekwungen territory, but perhaps a moment for each of you to acknowledge where you find yourself today and give thanks to the ancestors, the supernatural ones in the nations of the land that you call home. And as I do so, I want to acknowledge you as our Spakan. Spakan in our language means our flowers, our children and youth of our communities. And as our children and youth within our communities, our role is to nurture the grounds, the space that you grow in, so that you can be your true selves. In my mother's language, Kwakwala, we refer to it as Gwalayu, Gwalayu. And Gwalayu means the reason for my being. And in our language, we say Kasowa or Kaso, meaning I'm truly grateful. The song I'm going to share is a paddle song that was passed on through my family from my late uncle from the Cowichan Tribes territory, Kwashimit Ray Peter. I learned to dance to this song when I was about 4 and have had the great humility and honor to be able to sing that song. And I share that with you today to invite you in the way that you come into this space, but to invite you to be your whole being when you're with us today and moving forward. So, Haitskasiyam. Oh. Once again, welcome you all. Thank you for sharing this time with us, with our Moosehide family, for welcoming love and compassion into this space in the way that we choose to paddle together. So, Hait Kasiyam.
Walal, and thank you, Bradley, for your welcome and song to start us off in this beautiful way. We want to take a few minutes to offer an overview on the day so you know what's coming up. As you may or may not know, this is the 11th annual Moosehide Campaign Day. Woo, woo, woo! Oh my goodness. And of course, it's our second virtual gathering ever. It is important for us to acknowledge the elders and supporters who have helped us ensure that we come together in a good way today.
We know that there are many Moosehide Campaign Day events occurring in schools and communities across the country. We are so happy, definitely feeling the love from all of the champions who have organized these gatherings and supported the work of raising awareness of this important issue.
While we can't all be together in person, we are connected virtually and in spirit as we stand shoulder to pledge to make this lasting change. We want to acknowledge that there are a number of students and staff from across the country who have chosen to fast with us today. We are deeply, deeply grateful to you for this personal commitment. We honor you in a special way. You can do this. We are standing with you in love and support.
I have to say this is a challenging issue and this is a really challenging time. And with that, we want to make sure that you know we're here to support you throughout the day to create a safe and supportive environment as you participate virtually. So if you need any additional supports, we encourage you to visit the Wellness Center on the event page that has resources and health supports, videos for fasting, elders teachings, and lots of other helpful information.
In just a moment, we'll hear opening remarks from Her Excellency, the Right Honorable Mary Simon, Governor General of Canada. Following Her Excellency's remarks, we'll have some words from the co-founders of the Moosehide Campaign, Paul and Raven Lessert. After Raven and Paul, we'll invite Kendra Jesse to the stage to offer a few words and a movement moment. So when we call Kendra up, that's your cue to get ready for some dancing.
Then we have a short address.
This is one step on the road to reconciliation. Ceci est un pas sur le chemin de la réconciliation. Reconciliation is not one project, nor is it only one step. It's always looking at ways to improve our relationship with Indigenous communities. It's creating opportunities for equality, diversity, and safety. It's leading with understanding and respect. And it's educating ourselves on our history and what is happening to Indigenous women and girls in Canada. It's a reality we all have to face, no matter how old or young we are. We have every hope that you will help teach us how to treat each other with understanding and respect, and that you will help each other be better every day, striving to live with acceptance in your hearts. In Inuktitut, there is a word that has many meanings, ayuinata. It's a vow, a promise to never give up. It's committing ourselves to action no matter how daunting the cause may be. In that same spirit, don't let progress stop with this one day. Don't give up. Have important conversations with friends and family. Make it clear that we can create a safer world for everyone. Be confident, be hopeful, and always be proud of who you are. I believe in you, in your energy and determination. Together, I know we can stand up for women and girls everywhere. Thank you, merci, miigwech nakokmeek.
Well, Lawlin, thank you, Your Excellency, for those remarks. The theme for our gathering today is good medicine. We wanted to take a quick minute to tell you what that means to each of us. For me, good medicine has many different forms, from treating others with respect, care, and most importantly, love. I was raised by two amazing Mi'kmaq women and community leaders, in my auntie, Chief Darlene Bernard, and my mother, Poet Laureate Julie Plissier Lush. They raised me to see things differently and support our women from the side and behind, but never in front. While I have a short minute, I want all our youth listening right now to repeat after me, and please do not be shy. I am amazing.
I am amazing.
I am strong.
I'm strong.
I am intelligent.
I am intelligent.
I am going to treat others with love and respect.
I'm going to treat others with love and respect.
But I am amazing.
But I'm amazing.
Walalio imsit nogama. Thank you to all my relations.
Good medicine to me is exactly what we're doing here today in times of grief, in times of celebration. When we come to heal, we gather in ceremony. And I want to offer a special acknowledgement for the hundreds of thousands of folks who are joining us, our young ones, and a special acknowledgement to all of the members of the LGBTQ2S community. As a queer woman, it makes my heart so happy to have you all make the commitment and join us today. You are all so special to me, and I love each and every single one of you.
Well, Alan, thank you so much for that good medicine speech, Sage. It's so beautiful. We would like to invite you to think about what good medicine is for you and how you could be that good medicine in your classroom, school, and with your friends and your family. My friends, it's time to invite Raven and Paul Lacerte, co-founders of the Moosehide campaign, to the stage to share some stories about the campaign. Let's offer Paul and Raven a big warm welcome. Woo!
I would like to start by sharing a few words in my own Indigenous language, which is Carrier from North Central BC. Hadi, Raven Lacerte Sadni, Loretta Madam Slew, Paul Lacerte Spa, Sai Gana, Lachshibu, Injan Yinkaktene Keo, Tabes Nachalia, Injan Lakwangin Keo. My name is Raven Lacerte, and I am the co-founder of the Moosehide campaign. My mom is the late Loretta Madam, and my dad is Paul Lacerte. I am a first-generation residential school survivor. My mom attended the LeJac Residential School, which closed in 1984. I gratefully acknowledge that I am joining you today from the traditional territory of the Lekwungen-speaking peoples, the Songhees and Esquimalt nations. And I want to thank our amazing relative, Bradley Dick, for the beautiful welcome. My elders have always told me to speak from my heart. So the words that I'm going to share with you are written down, but they are from my heart. And let me tell you, my heart is full of love and hope today. There are over 400,000 people that have joined us today across Canada, and over 250,000 people joining from K-12 schools across Canada. My dad and I started this campaign together in 2011, and there were just two of us. And I want to share that I was 16 years old when we first got this idea. And so if you are 16, raise your hand. Thank you. I was your age when we had this idea, and we thought that it was love, and we thought that it was some good medicine that we could share with Canadians across this country. And so to all of you young people out there, I just want to say that anything is possible, and especially if you have a good heart and good mind and good intentions. I just encourage you to do what you're passionate about and share that good medicine out with the world. We can always use more good medicine. And so if you are 5 years old or 15 years old, if you are in grade 5 or graduating this year, I want to thank you for taking the time to join us today and to talk about good medicine, to take a stand against violence towards women and children, because it is not right, and it's not okay to do that. I'm so happy to talk to you today because you are all in a rite of passage. You are growing and changing, and you are deciding for yourselves what kind of person you are going to be when you grow up. For some of you, you are transitioning through adolescence and moving towards independence as a human being. For Indigenous communities and for many other cultures around the world, there are ceremonies called passage ceremonies or rites of passage that help provide guidance as you go through that process. And all of you are going through some form of passage ceremony. You are deciding what kind of values you're going to have, how you're going to live your life, and how are you going to treat other people. So today is a kind of a passage ceremony. It's a chance for you to think about your values when it comes to kindness and love and respect. These are forms of good medicine, and all of you have good medicine in you. For some of you, your medicine is kindness. For some of you, it is love. For some of you, it's listening with an open mind and an open heart. But all of you are good medicine. Thank you for letting me share with you today. I hope you all have a really beautiful day. My dad told me that he has a story to share with you. And so I raise my hands to each and every one of you and send you all of my love. Asicho.
Thanks so much, Raven. I actually don't have a story, but I'm going to think of one now. Just kidding. I wanted to join Raven as well in introducing myself in our Indigenous language, the carrier language. It's part of the journey of reconciliation and recovery for us as a country and for us as Indigenous people. So I wanted to say to you, in our language, which is from North Central British Columbia, the carrier language. So if there's anybody up there in the carrier territory, wanted to send a special hello to you folks as well. Hadi. So Paul Assert Sadni, Gilam Gilo Sadni. My English name is Paul Assert and my traditional name is Gilam Gilo. Saigana Laksiliu in Janyankaktane Keo. I'm a Caribou clan member from the Carrier Nation, as I said, in North Central BC. Snachalya in Jan Lakwangan Keo. I wanted to say a huge thank you for the beautiful welcome from our brother Bradley Dick, Hipwe Lipton, for the welcome to the Lakwangan speaking people's territory, Songhees and Esquimalt First Nations. I wanted to also just join Raven in saying a huge thank you to each of the students, but also to the educators, the teachers, and the administrators in the schools, and to really acknowledge you for your leadership and your support, for taking the time to be here today, and to encourage you to continue year over year in growing the Moosehide campaign in your school and in your community. In our home community of Fraser Lake, we went back after we started the Moosehide campaign and started a project there called 10 Men. And what we found is each year the students in the school came and said, our vision is for this school to be a place that's free of violence, that's free of all kinds of violence, physical violence, gender-based violence, lateral violence. And so it's so beautiful to see our young people leading this change. And as Raven said, out of the 400,000 people that are joining us today for Moosehide Campaign Day, over 250,000, over 250,000 of those are you folks, the folks that are joining us from K-12. So that's super powerful. I want to acknowledge that this is a complicated issue and that it takes courage to talk about it. No matter what age we are, I can tell you it's still hard for me, and I'm still healing. And so, yeah, it takes courage to talk about this and to have these conversations in a good way. So we want to acknowledge that as well, how significant it is that you're taking the time to create space to have this conversation in a really good way. But we believe that change is possible. And we believe that better is possible. And that today is an important step on that journey of reconciliation, but an important step on the journey to a better future. You heard today that we have an Indigenous Governor General, an Indigenous woman who is the Governor General of Canada, and she opened her heart to some of the experiences that she's had, and really lent the influence of her office to this important cause. You will hear from Murray Sinclair, the former head of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. And just for some of you that are studying this, I know for all grade 5 students across Canada, for an example, you're learning about residential schools. So I want to share with you that this day is an implementation action in response to the TRC 94 calls to action. This is something that we can do in response to those calls. We've been called to action in this country in the reconciliation space. So this is an answer to the TRC calls to action. What you're doing today is also an implementation action in response to the 231 calls for justice from the Murdered and Missing Indigenous Women and Girls National Inquiry. And it's also, this day is also an implementation action pursuant to the Article 22.2 of the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. So I would encourage you, if you haven't read it, have a look at the 46 articles of the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. We had to have this global document that says Indigenous people have human rights, and here they are. And we're trying to implement those human rights. And Article 22.2 says, states shall take measures in conjunction with Indigenous peoples to ensure that Indigenous women and children enjoy the full protection and guarantees against all forms of violence and discrimination. So there's strength in what you're doing today, and you're not alone. I want to acknowledge those of you that are fasting. In fact, there are thousands of people fasting across Canada, and thousands who are going without food and water to show that they're serious about making the change, to show that you're serious about making the change. And I wanted to raise my hands to you. This is a gesture from the territory that we live here, Coast Salish territory. We raise our hands in honor and respect to you, those warriors. This is a healthy warrior practice to refrain from eating and drinking for a day, to show how serious you are about the love that you have for yourself and the love that you have for the women and children in your life. So we wanted to acknowledge you, to acknowledge the fasters. And what I wanted to end with is I think the story that Raven wanted me to share. It's very brief, and it's that I'm a plane crash survivor. I was in a plane and it got a fire, and then the plane went down, and then it crashed into the ocean and sank. And that was a really scary experience for me. And I went unconscious, and I'm not saying this story to you to tell you that air travel is unsafe. It's super safe. It's actually safer than driving. But why I wanted to share it with you is that it really affected me. The trauma of that really affected me. And the trauma of this issue of violence really affects people. Yeah. So I got post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. And it affected me for about 6 months. And I was not okay. I was really struggling. And I had to take medication and do ceremonies, and I had to heal. And I learned two really important truths when I became whole again from that trauma. The first is that every moment is precious. Every moment that we have in this life is precious. And the second truth is that every single person is precious. Every single one of you are so precious. And part of why we're spreading the Moosehide campaign is that we believe that any form of violence is contrary to that preciousness. Any form of violence is contrary to the preciousness that we can experience in these moments that we have gifted in this life. And every experience of violence is contrary to your preciousness. And we think that we can make a change. So I wanted to thank you so much, each and every one of you again, for taking the time to join us today. It's such an honor for Raven and I to be here with you. And we wish you all the best in the rest of your day. Two of my incredible daughters here, I get to be on stage with them and do this work together with them. And again, this is an opportunity and an invitation for all of you to do this work with your families. Yeah, all my relations.
I love you so much. Thank you, Paul and Raven, for your words and for your stories and for your vulnerability. We want to invite Kendra Jesse to the stage and to share a little bit with us. Kendra is a Cree and Ukrainian woman, a dancer, an Indigenous wellness advocate, an athlete, an influencer, and a fitness trainer. You can find her by her name on TikTok. Let's give a warm welcome to Kendra Jesse.
So, is this on? Do you? So, Tanse, Kendra Jesse, Nasika San, Nia, Nihiao, Ukrainian, Sucker Creek First Nation, Ochinia. So, hello everyone. My name is Kendra Jesse. I am a Cree and Ukrainian woman from Sucker Creek First Nation in traditional Treaty 8 territory. So, I like to say that I wear many hats. I am a fancy shawl dancer, a fitness trainer, a Nike N7 athlete, a wellness advocate, social media content creator, and most importantly, a family member. I am an auntie, a daughter, and a sister. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you and showing you what good medicine means to me. For myself, movement and dance, sports, and being physically active is good medicine. I grew up as an athlete, so I'm very passionate about movement. I just wanted to share a few reasons with you why movement is such good medicine for me. The first reason is that movement is empowering. It proves that we are capable, it shows us how strong we are, and oftentimes it shows us that we're a lot stronger than we think we are. And for myself as a young Indigenous woman, it's important for me to be strong so that I can protect myself and I can take care of myself, and so that I can take care of my family, my future children, my friends, my community, and my nations. It's important for me to be strong so that I can protect myself and take care of myself and also my loved ones. The next reason is that movement is healing. It allows us to release some of the negative emotions in our body, like anger, sadness, pain, or trauma. And it also improves our mood. It releases the chemicals in our body that make us happy and make us feel good. And the last reason is that movement is humbling. It reminds us that we are human, we're not perfect, and we make mistakes, but that's okay. So now I wanted to invite you all to join me in sharing some good medicine through the power of movement. So if you are able, I'm going to ask that you stand up and get out of your chair, your seat, your couch, your bed, wherever you are. I'm asked that you're going to stand up and rise out of your feet and get ready to do some movement with me. So I'm going to be teaching you the basic powwow step, and this is a step that's done in both men's and women's styles of dance, but I'm a dancer and dancing is really, really good medicine for me, so I wanted to share that with you all. But before we get started, I just want to make sure you have about like arm distance, like space. You don't need a lot of space. We're just going to be stationary and dancing, but make sure you have a little bit of space. And we're just going to do a little bit of a warm up and get our bodies prepared for the movement that we're going to do. So we're just going to start with some ankle circles. You're just going to roll your ankle in one direction, get them warmed up, and we'll switch directions. So it's important as a dancer to warm up your feet and your ankles because you use them a lot. We'll switch feet now, so other ankle, just roll around a few times and then switch directions again. Nice. So now we're just going to come up and do some tippy toes. We're just going to come up onto our toes and back down. Just go at a nice like medium pace, not too fast, just up and down a few times. Okay, now we're all ready to start dancing. So the basic step that I'm going to teach you, how it's going to work, we'll start with our right foot. So you're just going to have your right foot, and you're just going to step it in front of you and bring it back underneath. And now we'll go the left foot, the other foot, so you'll step it in front of you and bring it back underneath. So you'll just continue doing that, just switching feet and stepping forward and then back underneath you. So that's the basic power step. This is how it looks from the side. But I'm going to teach you the second variation, and that is to just add a little bit of a hop to the step. So you're just going to hop up and down on your toes, and then you're just going to start adding that step. So just stepping in front of you and back underneath. You can have your hands on your hips. You can have them out to the side or out to the side, wherever you want, whatever is comfortable for you to express yourself. But this is the basic powwow step. So let's do this we'll go for 8 counts. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whew. So we'll take a little break, catch our breath. I know powwow dancing can really get your heart rate going quite fast. But now we are going to do that basic powwow step in honor of the medicine wheel teaching. So we're going to do it in the 4 different directions. We will do the step for 8 counts in each direction. We'll start facing forward. We'll go to the side, to the back, to the other side, and then back forward. So let's get ready. So we'll go 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're done. Good job, everyone. Before I finish, I just want to thank you all for your time and your energy and for sharing some good medicine with me through the power of movement. So hi, thank you, and enjoy the rest of today's event.
Wow. Well, and thank you so very much, Kendra, for that inspiration. That was amazing.
Merci, Joe, Kendra. We would now like to introduce the Honorable Murray Sinclair to share a few words. The Honorable Murray Sinclair is a former member of the Canadian Senate and First Nations lawyer who served as the chairman of the Indian Residential Schools Truth and Reconciliation Commission from 2009 to 2015. He previously served as a judge in Manitoba from 1988 to 2009, being the first Indigenous judge appointed in the province. Sinclair was appointed to the Senate of Canada in 2016 and retired at the beginning of 2021. Welcome, His Honor Murray Sinclair.
Hello, everybody. I'm Murray Sinclair. I want to begin by welcoming you all to Moosehide Campaign Day, and thank you for your participation. And just want you to know that your participation is very important because it's the beginning of our addressing the issue of violence against women generally, but particularly the issue of violence against Indigenous women. And your role in this is very important, not only now, but into the future. I'd like to also ask if you would think about your role in addressing gender violence in the future, and understand that one of the most important things that you can do from this point on, and perhaps you're doing it now, but from this point on, is always stand up against gender violence. Don't participate in it, but when you see it happening, when you see people bullying girls, you stand in for that. You do something about it. Don't let it happen. Don't let it happen in your presence, because standing by and letting it happen is almost as bad as participating in it, and that's not good. I also want to tell you that in recognizing the issue of gender violence, and in particular the issue of gender violence involving Indigenous women, it's an important part of the work that we undertook at the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, because it's an important part of reconciliation. Reconciliation is not just about reconciliation between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people, or between Indigenous people and government and churches. Reconciliation is also about coming to terms with our relationship with each other as human beings, and in particular, men and women, boys and girls, being able to change the way that we have been taught or we have become used to talking to and about each other is very important. And you will play a key role in that going forward if you pay attention to the things that you're going to learn today. So thank you for being here. Thank you for participating.
Thank you to the Honorable Murray Sinclair for your words. Now we are so excited to invite Thielen Kignoswe to the stage. Thielen is an Indigenous youth trailblazer who uses his voice to spread his message and showcase Indigenous culture. He is Wolf Clan from the Potawatomi and Cree Nations and is a member of the Walpole Island Kedronong Territory. Welcome, Thielen.
Ani bojo, danse kwe wache sego. Nim kibanoje kapisi samat napisis indigena kayas, mine gandodem, kajanong and donjaba. Hello, my English name is Thielen Kiknaswe. I'm Cree and Potawatomi from Wapule Island First Nation, Kajanong Territory. I'm part of the Wolf Clan. I'm 18 years old and I was born and raised on unceded, unsurrendered Algonquin territory in our nation's capital, known as Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Thank you so much for inviting me here today to share a bit of my mind, my thoughts, my ideas, and my blessings with you all. I first want to give thanks to this beautiful land on which we stand on today, to the places that we all individually call home, and to the original caretakers of this land, our ancestors, for their strength, resiliency, and determination to keep our culture and traditions alive. I've been involved with the Moosehide campaign for quite some time now, and being a part of this ongoing campaign has taught me so much. It has taught me how to be a positive youth role model for the younger generation, how to better myself and my knowledge as a human being, and how to love myself and my community around me. When I think of the people that inspire me the most, the first thing that comes to my mind are my parents. My mother for her love that she shines on me every day, the good vibrations she sends, and the respectful heart she carries. My father for his warmth, love, guidance, and support as I grow into my roles and responsibilities as a young man. He has taught me many things in my life. What it means to be a Kijay and Anishinaabe Nin, or in my language, a kind man. What it means to have a good heart. What it means to learn from my mistakes, and what it means to carry the teachings of our ancestors who are here before us. And in turn, I've also done my best to understand what good medicine is. To me, good medicine is unique to everyone. Good medicine could mean your family, your friends, your culture, your language, your neighbors, your community. It could be the knowledge you receive every day. We all see good medicine in different aspects of our lives. When we think of the changes we want to see in our communities, it starts with the power of our voices. I believe our voices are the greatest tools we have. Our thoughts, ideas, and feelings are all presented with our voices. When we notice issues in our communities, we address them using our voices along with many others. For example, when I was only the age of 9, I asked my mom one simple yet difficult question. I asked her, where do the children of the missing and murdered Indigenous women go? She did not have an answer for me at that time. So I asked the same question to one of our community members, my Auntie Bridget Tolley, who then shared something that has resonated with me ever since. From our conversation, she told me that no matter how hard it gets, the struggles or the obstacles we have to go through, we must continue to move forward and put one foot in front of the other. For the past 7 years, I have embarked on an annual journey to raise awareness to the epidemic of missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, Two-Spirit, and our women in our communities. Just recently as last year, we biked from Winnipeg to Ottawa to raise awareness to this injustice in our community. It affects us all. And I, as a young man, have tried my best to make sure that people are hearing our voices, our greatest tool that we have. I continue to remind myself of this important message because challenges and obstacles are constant. I use this advice to get me through every day, and I hope you can too. I too understand that days can be hard, but we need to continue to recognize the strength that we all carry in our hearts and in our spirits. Remind yourself that good medicine that brings you to the next day. Remind yourself about the goodness you would like to see in your community. Let yourself use your voice to tell others when they are doing wrong, and expect better. Help to better communities and continue to address and raise awareness to the many injustices that we face every day. So I ask of you to stand with me and the Moosehide campaign to end violence against our women and children in our Indigenous communities all across Turtle Island. This change can only be made as a collective. It must be a movement that includes us all, from all ages, all genders, and all communities. Now I would like to share with you a dance. This is called the hoop dance. The hoop dance is a storytelling dance that has brought me all over the world to share with beautiful people like yourselves. The hoop dance originally comes from the Hopi people and the Hopi Nation down in southwestern United States in Arizona. I've done my best to understand this dance and to portray my own story by weaving the hoops together and creating different shapes and creatures from animals that you might see in nature. The hoop dancer's job is to weave together all these beautiful shapes for you to create your own story with. One person may see some sort of animal. One person may see a hawk. Another person may see a raven. Another person may see an eagle. But that's the beauty of this dance. It shows us that we are all unique in our own way. It shares with us that we all have our own two eyes and our own imagination to create our own story. So as I share this dance with you in just a few moments, I want you to look at the different designs that I am creating and continue to create your own story, your own path, and continue to follow your own journey as you go along. Thank you, Moosehide Campaign, and all of you beautiful people for listening to me, for hearing me out, and joining me on this mission to better our peoples. Now I'm going to share with you a traditional hoop dance with a spin of the LED glow-in-the-dark hoops. Thank you very much. Miigwech.
Merci, Joe, Thielen.
Oh my goodness, that was amazing. From another hoop dancer to another, that was truly inspiring. We're so very thankful for you and that keynote address today. We're so grateful to have you here today. We have several important reminders now to share with you. We want to ensure that everyone participating today feels safe and supported. Should you need additional support or resources, we encourage you to visit the Wellness Center section at our event website.
For those of you who are joining us from Victoria, we encourage you to come visit 12 noon at Thunderbird Park for the Walk to End Violence. Come down to the intersection of Belleville and Douglas Street. And for those who are joining us from elsewhere in Canada, we encourage you to tune back in at 12 noon PST for the live stream of the speeches taking place at the BC Legislature. Thank you very much for this time we have shared together. We are so grateful to the hundreds of thousands of students and teachers who have come and joined us today. Masi Cho. Thank you very much. Merci.
Malalio. Thank you, everybody. Malalio.